Picture this. A gritty, hard-fought battle under the lights in Philadelphia, where the Eagles clawed their way to a narrow 16-9 victory over the Lions on November 16th, 2025. But oh boy, the drama off the field and on the scoreboard is the real story that has everyone talking. This matchup wasn't just about points. It highlighted some surprising struggles and strategic shifts that could shake up the NFL landscape. Stick around, because as we dive into the recap, you'll see why this win feels like a statement for Philadelphia, yet raises questions about Detroit's future. And this is the part most people miss. Despite the Eagles' offensive hiccups, they capitalized on the Lions' self-inflicted wounds in a game that screamed opportunities missed. In what turned out to be a low-scoring affair, Philadelphia's star quarterback, Jalen Hurts, was the hero with the game's lone touchdown, powering through despite an offense that just couldn't find its rhythm consistently. The Eagles, now sitting at 8-2, stand tall as the only squad in the NFC East boasting more than 3 wins, and they're right up there as the second team in the entire conference to hit 8 victories. This puts them firmly in the hunt for the top seed and that coveted home field advantage, especially with the defending Super Bowl champs eyeing a repeat title. For newcomers to NFL lingo, a top seed means clinching the best position in the playoffs, giving you advantages like easier opponents and hosting games. Hurts managed to throw for a modest 135 yards, while explosive running back Saquon Barkley, last year's Offensive Player of the Year, churned out 83 yards on the ground. Even the wide receivers who once dominated with over 1,000 yards receiving each, A.K. Brown and Devonta Smith, had a quiet day combined, with just 9 catches for 57 yards. Yet, these offensive lulls hardly mattered because the Detroit Lions seemed to hand the game away on a silver platter. The Lions, who had been averaging a whopping 31.4 points per game heading in, stumbled badly by failing to convert any of their 5 fourth-down attempts and only succeeding on 3 out of 13 third-down plays. Quick tip for beginners: fourth-down conversions are crucial decisions where teams go for it instead of kicking. Risking a turnover but potentially gaining big yards, it's a high-stakes gamble that can swing a game. But here's where it gets controversial. The Lions head coach, Dan Campbell, shook things up last week by taking over play-calling duties from offensive coordinator John Morton, and he handled the reins again versus the Eagles. Campbell wasn't sure if this was a permanent change, but let's just say his stint didn't exactly turn the tide. Some fans might argue this was a bold move to inject fresh energy, sparking debates on whether coaches should stick to their roles or adapt mid-season. What do you think? Does switching play callers mid-game confuse the team or energize it? Share your thoughts in the comments. One of the Lions' most glaring missteps happened late in the third quarter, down 13-6, when quarterback Jared Goff connected with dynamic receiver Jameson Williams for a 42-yard bomb that advanced the ball deep into Eagles territory, all the way to the 22-yard line. From there, Detroit fought their way to first and goal at the 8-yard line, but they couldn't punch it in, turning the ball over on downs. Meanwhile, the Eagles made the most of their own red zone chances inside the 10-yard line. That's NFL speak for the area near the opponent's end zone, where scoring is most likely. Earlier in the game, Barkley had his 5-yard touchdown run in the second quarter flipped by a replay review. But Philadelphia bounced back when Hurts dove in from 1 yard out. Yep, via a clever tush-push play, with just 16 seconds left in the half, giving the Eagles a 13-6 cushion. Kicker Jake Elliott added field goals from 27 and 34 yards in the first half, plus a 49-yarder in the fourth quarter to stretch the lead to 16-6. Goff, for his part, completed 14 of 37 passes for 255 yards and did find Williams for a 40-yard touchdown that knotted the score at 6-all late in the second quarter. Williams' exuberant celebration leaping onto the goalpost padding and embracing the upright, drew a 15-yard unsportsmanlike conduct penalty, which proved costly on a windy night in Philly. The extra point attempt by Jake Bates sailed wide right from 48 yards. And while he nailed a 54-yard field goal with under 2 minutes to go, it wasn't enough to close the gap. Speaking of controversies, Hurts tried repeatedly to get the ball to a visibly frustrated A.J. Brown early on. Amid yet another week of the receiver voicing his grievances about his role. Check out the AP News preview for more on that tension. Brown's numbers have tanked this season. He was only targeted 3 times last week against Green Bay, and he vented on social media via Twitch, urging fantasy football owners to bench him. Some might say his apparent route running lapses in the third quarter show a player checked out, finishing with 7 catches for 49 yards. But here's the counterpoint. Is Brown justified in his complaints? Or does this signal a need for better team communication? Could this internal drama actually be motivating him to demand more, turning a potential weakness into strength? It's a hot topic. Do you side with Brown or think it's hurting the team's cohesion? Let us know below. On a brighter note for the Eagles, rookie cornerback Cooper DeJean snagged his first career interception in a regular season game, picking off Goff in the first quarter and setting up a field goal. This second-year standout is etched in history from last season's Super Bowl, where he became the first player ever to intercept a pass or score a touchdown on his birthday, hauling in a deflection from Patrick Mahomes and racing 38 yards for the score. As for injuries, the Lions dealt with All-Pro safety Kirby Joseph sitting out his 4th straight game due to a knee issue. For the Eagles, offensive lineman Lane Johnson was sidelined at halftime with a foot injury after exiting the previous week's Green Bay victory early with an ankle problem, but coming back strong in the 4th. Looking ahead, the Lions welcome the New York Giants to town next Sunday, while the Eagles head to Dallas for a tough road test. This recap isn't just about the score. It's a reminder of how one team's execution, or lack thereof, can define a season. What controversies stood out to you most? Campbell's coaching switch, Brown's frustrations, or those missed conversions? Disagree with any calls? Jump into the comments and let's discuss.